Okay, so picture this, a tiny, almost forgotten village in the Dominican Republic where something absolutely extraordinary happens. For generations, some kids who were born and raised as girls, well, around the age of 12, they naturally become boys. Today on The Explainer, we're going to find out how.
So this is the place, Saladillo. It's so small you literally won't find it on a map. But it's home to one of the most profound human stories you'll ever hear. And it all kicks off with a little girl named Felicita.
Now Felicita, everyone called her Anaibe, grew up just like any other girl. She played with her sister, had her dreams, the usual. But as she got closer to puberty, her body started to change in ways nobody, least of all her, saw coming. And it brings up this pretty mind-blowing question, right? What happens when a girl starts to turn into a boy?
To really get what's going on, we have to start at the beginning, with Anaibe's childhood. It was a time filled with confusion that eventually led to a very quiet, very personal discovery.
You know, while her sister was all about dolls and dresses, Anaibe just felt this pull towards the rough-and-tumble world of the neighborhood boys. Her mom would actually drag her home, telling her to play with the girls. But for Anaibe, it never felt right.
And then the physical changes started. One night when she was 12, she woke up her sister Angelina and whispered this to her, totally scared and confused. Neither of them had a clue what was happening, just that it was different.
Her body just kept changing. Her chest got broader, her muscles stronger, and of course, at school, the teasing started. Kids would call her Güevotes, which basically means big balls, or machi hembra, which is kind of like a super tomboy. And while the words definitely stung, there was also this strange part of her that felt like, well, they weren't entirely wrong.
So, what was actually happening to Anaibe's body? I mean, this sounds like something out of science fiction, but to understand it, we've got to look at the incredible science behind this transformation.
So, in the United States, the term for what Anaibe was experiencing is intersex. And it's important to know, this isn't just one single thing. Think of it as a big umbrella term for a bunch of conditions where a person's body doesn't fit neatly into those typical male or female boxes.
Okay, so the specific condition that's so common in Saladillo is called 5-alpha reductase deficiency. Here's how it works, step by step. First, these babies are genetically male, but in the womb, they're missing a key enzyme. Because of that, they're born with genitals that look female. But then, and here's the kicker, at puberty, bam! A massive second surge of testosterone kicks in and the body starts to masculinize. Now, this is what makes this village so unbelievable. This condition, it's incredibly common there, about 1 in every 90 births. To put that in perspective, that's more than 20 times the rate in the US. This isn't just some rare thing that happens once in a blue moon, it's literally woven into the fabric of this community.
And as you can imagine, this biological reality forces a really difficult decision. It's a choice that has ignited a huge debate in modern medicine, with consequences that, well, they last a lifetime.
So this leads to a major conflict. For a long time, the standard approach in the US was to just perform surgery on intersex infants, to assign them a sex, male or female. But now, there's a growing movement of activists pushing back, saying, hey, wait a minute, maybe the person themselves should get to make that choice when they're old enough to understand what it all means.
Now, doctors who support that early surgery, people like Dr. Baskin, they see it differently. For them, it's like fixing a cleft palate. It's a way to help a child fit into society and, from their point of view, have a better shot at a successful life. But let's head back to the Dominican Republic, because in this little village, we see a completely different way of handling things. It's a model that has grown organically right in the middle of a surprisingly traditional and, macho culture.
I mean, this is a town that loves its cockfights, its bachata music, and a good bit of gossip. It's a very patriarchal society by just about any measure. And yet, when it comes to these children, there's this incredible unspoken tolerance. Maybe it's because everyone knows the biological reason for it, so it's seen less as a social issue and more as just nature doing its thing.
And you want to know the ultimate example of this? Look no further than a man named Don José. This guy was the most powerful man in town, a respected political leader, a known womanizer, and guess what? Everybody also knew he was intersex. But his masculinity was never, ever questioned. So it's within this really unique culture of acceptance that Anaibe began his own very personal journey, the journey from girl to boy.
Anaibe's transformation into Johnny wasn't like flipping a switch. It was a series of these brave, defining moments. You know, demanding boys' underwear, getting his long hair chopped off, and then finally, at 18, turning to everyone and saying, "Call me Johnny."
I mean, you can imagine, his family was stunned. His sister Angelina said she always thought she had 3 sisters. But even though they didn't fully get it, they accepted his choice. His mom still worried quietly that he might end up alone forever, but they let him be him.
But this path of just waiting and seeing, it isn't for everyone, even in this village. Take a mother named Julianne. Her 5-year-old daughter has the same condition, and she wants doctors to perform surgery now to lock in her child's female identity because she's scared of the confusion and the gossip that might come down the road.
So, after hearing all this, what's the big takeaway from Saladillo? What can this tiny, isolated community possibly teach the rest of the world about gender, identity, and acceptance?
Well, their model of acceptance isn't what you might expect. It's not about big, open discussions or pride parades or pronouns. It's a quieter, but really powerful form of acceptance. They let the kids figure out who they are, and then everyone just moves on. It's like this unwritten code of respectful silence.
In the end, Johnny's journey and the story of his village, it poses a question that's so much bigger than just gender or medicine. It really gets to the very heart of what it means to be a person. And Johnny himself says it best. It's not about what other people want for you. It's about discovering what you want for yourself.